Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy P Farm Thinking Right out here in my lab in the book. Well, we all into my yacht right now. It's we out in my yacht rabbit hole. Y'all started this venture, so hold on tight, cause that's what it's gonna be for a while. Hope you enjoy it. Let's go. Oh, right quick. I'm gonna get me a T-shirt with that on it. That's the judgment day, the scales of my yacht. If you look at the scale, you see that the scale is actually my yacht. The feather against the heart, you see that's the concept right here. That's my yacht right there. She becomes the imperiation of truth, or she represents everything that's righteous and good. That's the lesson we're going to go to today. Ooh-wee. Let's go. Rightism, 25 rule to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in my stories for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in to receive them. I appreciate you. You got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline, practice daily, will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission that all my right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get it together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You will when I get through. That's what I do for you. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have to answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself and to my yacht be true. That's my girl. That was a picture of the halls of my yacht at Judgment Day. In the two twins, that's Aset and Neptet. They represent the twins in the halls of Mayate. Alright. But the concept is Mayat is a principle, a philosophy, concepts that God. Do you know that Mayat don't have a mother or father? She wasn't born. Why? She's not a person. She's a principle. She's concept. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. And just a quick, I want to get this lesson out the way right quick. I want to read this phrase, this paragraph about the ego self. You need to know this and understand this. Then we're going to get into the lesson. Oh, I got a good one for you. This one, the concept of action and fate in the Maya philosophy. Action, they call it karma. We called it IRI. So break it down for you. Y'all think karma come from India. Not, again, Egyptians. All right, right quick. The ego personality, the identification that you identify with the I, the me, that's the ego personality. It will die. It ain't the spirit, it ain't the soul, it don't live on. No, it dies unless it what? Comply. Meaning what? Get with the movement. Get with the movement. You can't beat them, you better join them. What's this? So the ego personality, because it's not all that, it's subject to what? The forces of time and space. It ain't above nothing. And it will suffer what? The consequences of its actions. That means you. When you do ignorant stuff, you do dumb stuff, wrong, bad, whatever, you got to be the consequent bearer of those actions. When you do good actions, you the bearer of the benefit of what? The blessing. That's all it is. Your choice. You can do this, or you can do that. But the ego wants to do what it wants to do. That lies a problem for you. Why? Because you're going to have to suffer the consequences. Watch this. And this is the basis for the whole purpose of teaching the Maya, or what they call karma philosophy. When your ego personality dies with the physical body, the conscious of me, I, that's your ego personality. I, me, right? Dies, what happens? The soul moves on. the spirit, the soul don't die, but the physical body and the egoistic I consciousness does too. Okay, that's called dying twice. If the human being has discovered his or her what? Higher true self by what? Purifying one's heart. Example, mind and body coherence. Heart, mind coherence. Bing, bang. The consciousness of your mind and the body, brain working together as one. Now you're in contact with your higher self. Then your soul now what? Moves forward, and the soul moves in what they call the astral plane, not the physical. This was inside. When the physical body died, it goes to the astral plane. When we go to sleep, we go to the astral plane where it's all mental. It ain't nothing to do with the five senses. Okay? Maat teaches you how to mentally prepare yourself for the next life. It finds another what? Ego personality, a physical body. The soul, if it ain't enlightened, go find another body. If enlightened, it goes home. See that right angle? Okay, see that? Either that way or that way. No other way. No choices, no other way. Simple as that. Move on. Your ego person, you find it, your spirit, your soul will find another body about to be what? Born into the world. See the concept? In time or space. Meaning your spirit needs a physical host to deal with time and space. If not, it's going to be in limbo or it's going home. If it's going home, it don't have to be in limbo. You go straight in. If it's in limbo, it's waiting for something. It's in holding, so to speak. And every 49 days, it gets to go into another body, another lesson. But so that now it may have what? When it reincarnation, it has a what? Another opportunity to have what? Human experience to do what? So that it will have another shot to discover its higher nature. Your spirit have to be recognized by the conscious body that is in you, the individual. If all you think about is you ain't never going to reach that level. That's why you're getting reincarnated and you will die with the physical body. Simple as that. It ain't my way. It's the way. I just understand it and I practice it and follow it. You got to follow your own laws, your own rules that govern you. Simple as that. I got mine. And this is the whole basis for what we teach, what? Reincarnation. Enlighten yourself. You're here to what? To know who the hell we are. Mentally, spiritually, okay? A lot of us got other agendas. Those are the ones that what? Come back. Why? You like this. You like here. I personally don't like here. I'm enjoying it. I'm here, but when I leave, I ain't coming back. Moving on. That's the concept. Now let's get to the lesson. If you think your ego is God, it ain't. It believes it is. That's the difference. It will die. Trust me. The higher you, the spirit, Haru, no, it can't die. It knows who it is. Why? I'm the son of God. I'm God's chosen son. The only begotten. No, we all are begotten. Excuse me. Let's talk about the concept of action. Sorry about that. Now let's get to the lesson. It's going to be fun. Well, I like teaching, so I just try to put it out there and let you do what you need to do with it. This is going to be a good one. This is about WRIGHT. See that I? Right there? It recognizes action, deeds. Right there. Same one. Okay. That's the hieroglyphic sign for what? Being conscious, knowing thyself. You see a brother walk around with triangles, pyramids, he know a few things. And them guys, I don't need a whole bunch of stuff. No, are you a Mason? Yeah, but not because of the pyramid. They equate that, so I get it. It's a cult concept. So all that, I'm good what I do. I was at the gym today. My old head at the gym, who I respect. Guy, 87 years old. He's 20 years my senior. And he in the gym with me every day. And I saw him at the store, him and his wife. I told his wife, that's my hero. That's my gym inspiration. Why? He's at 87. Yeah, he's still more. I said, I know. I see him every day. The last few years. So we had a good conversation today. He said, I told my wife, he's a good guy. He's quiet, keeps to himself. And he always has a book. Dun, 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 dun. Down here in my little town, everybody knows me for carrying a book. Okay, let's go. That's my little personal trademark. All right. Now, action. WRIGHT means action. What? To do something. Things done. And I got next lesson coming between the doer and the non-doer. Some of us do things for rewards. Some of us do things because it's the right thing to do. That's the right thinker. Those are the non-doers. Heads up. All right, let's talk about this thing. Maat philosophy is based on the concept of what? Action. Doing. You reap what you sow. You put out this, you're going to get that. Cause and effect. All those are based on the Maat philosophy. And it's all about action. Actions are called WRIGHT from the ancients. That means one's actions leave impressions on one's unconscious mind. And these emerge later as what they call desires, which impel your personality to certain situations. That's where the ego comes in at. If the ego desires something, it's going to put you in a position to what? Fulfill its desires of what? Physical pleasures. So now you got to go out looking for somebody to help accommodate that. Okay? That's the ego self. That's what I mean by entanglements and certain situations. Why? You're going to start to craving the desire. You're going to try to fulfill them in the physical form. But this concept is illustrated most succinctly on point in the teachings of Merikara. That's an Egyptian philosopher back in the day. And he made I got to get that over here. He got some instruction that he left out. But he had the philosophy, he practiced, that he taught on point again. All right, we get to in a minute. Now, in the Commission system, the god Asar serves the world, functions of administering Maat. Asar, the first man, from spirit to matter, his job was to institute Maat. The gods based their decisions about one's fate by means of what? Examining one's record, what? As a human being. We're here to have a human experience. This is a test of life for the spirit to become in matter and pass the test of life. Asar did the first time. He did it first. He laid the groundprint, the blueprint for what? Maat. He taught Maat to the world. I get to get over there later. But that's the concept. We are what? The sons and daughters of who? Asar. The first spirit into man, into matter. We represent him in the spirit, which is what? Haru, the spirit that's in me and you. This record that they keep at Judgment Day, they term karma. What it means is you're going to get what you deserve. That's what karma means. The action that you put out comes with an equal and opposite reaction. If it's good, it will be rewarded. If not good, it will be dealt with accordingly. That's what they mean by deserve. The severity of the wrongness would be the severity of your karma reaction. Simple. In India, in WRIGHT, in ancient Egypt, it's called karma in India. It's WRIGHT in Egypt. Now, in the Indian history, the word karma appears in their Vedic tradition, which is their holy book, with the meaning, what's this, of the act of sacrifice. Their idea of karma, when you're going to do something for the right reason, that's sacrificing. That's the old traditional way from the Indians. And it works too. It's just a little more strict. Why? Those guys don't play. They follow the law. They're not going to deviate. Like the Jews, they're not going to change what they believe because y'all don't like it. Don't mean nothing. So the whole idea, when you're serving your higher self, it's always about what? Making sacrifices for your lower self. Why? The lower self ain't to be pleasured, be satisfied. Why? He don't really count on the scale, like that. But as in the rituals, you always have to follow the ritual and get to understand it. Now, in the Upanishadic traditions, the Vedas again, the word takes on much more expanded and a more profound meaning. They see it different. That it has come to now represent in our modern times, which is right now. And the residue is the fallout or the repercussions of something that you did, or your mental impressions of your unconscious self, of the act of any action that's performed by an unenlightened person, aka an ignorant person. They're going to what? Make mistakes. And what's going to happen? You got to pay the price for that mistake. Why? Because you allowed it. You participated in the action. But I thought, no. You got to pay the price for the ego's mistakes. That's why you don't want it in control. This residue remains with a person even what? After death. Why? Due to that person's desires to experience pleasures from their performance of the action. I did this, I should get that in return. I do a job, I should get paid. I put forth the effort, I should get something in return. When you're working for your higher self, those actions are done from the heart and the mind for what? For good and for the purpose of right and doing for the right reason, not to gain. But what you actually gain when you do it that way, blessings. That's the caveat to that. And only people who does it knows it. All right. But that person, depending on their desires of flesh from the performance of the action they perform, everybody think they deserve something because of what? Their spiritual ignorance. I'm spiritually enlightened. I know all my spiritual concepts is to appease my higher self, not my lower self. Physical, lower. Good, righteous, higher. Moving on. That's why a lot of people don't take the higher. Why? They ain't get nothing right now. In the physical world, you get somebody $20, they be your best friend. They'll follow you and love you. Okay? You tell them, you do this, I get no trust right there. That's the devil's deal. Okay? Since mystical philosophy maintains that what? Happiness, pay attention, can only come from obtaining what? Self-knowledge. Cosmic or divine consciousness, being conscious of a higher understanding, higher self, and not from what? Worldly possession or pursuits. That's all egoistic actions, and they will inevitably lead to what? Disappointment. That new car ain't gonna be new for long. That fresh relationship won't be fresh for long. It's going to, through time, it's going to deteriorate. If not in what? This lifetime, even in the future one. Why? Physical things don't last. However, this is not realized by who? People. Why? Because when some actions are performed, what happened? They seem to give the desired result or the pleasure. This then now leads them to what? Developing that craving in their personality as a person. And people now depend on what? That result for that high, that adrenaline rush of their actions or the pleasures of the flesh that they experience what they consider happiness. Yeah, happy for the moment, for the actual situation. That's not happiness. Or, watch this, as it is referred to in the yoga, the fruits of your actions. Again, you put forth the action to get what? To get something in return. The fruit. I'm supposed to get something in return. That's the devil's deal. In the material world, that's the devil's MO. The person feels, watch this, here you go, that they can engage in this action when again and again. And what happened? They will now be even happier, a happier person, or at least derive the same or more pleasures from said actions. When you're doing drugs, the first time you do it, a little bit gets you there. After doing it for a while, over and over, you start needing more and more. Why? Because you can't satisfy it. It's going to want more. That's why. Thus, you strive to perform those actions, what? At the same time, to bring them pleasures as much as possible. Through what? The actions. Through getting high. I'm going to get higher. I'm going to get higher. I'm going to get higher. How high can you get? And they strive to what? The high is good. So you strive to avoid the consequences that they develop to dislike for what? For those actions or situations which they perceive as being an obstacle for their experience or pleasure. So it's a bad thing. That's the disappointment part. Then when you don't get what you want, it's bad. Many times, their actions to what? Recapture, to do what they got on there before the first time. I use the expression of freebase. When you hit that thing, you chase that. After that, you chasing that, and you can't ever get it again. It's a one-time deal. Moving on. Like virginity. Once it's broken, it ain't going back. Moving on. But you try to recapture the what? That pleasure, that moment, that euphoric state, that whatever it is that you liked about that action, you try to recapture it over and over again. And that experience previously in a similar circumstances, but you do not, it will not bring them the pleasure that they want. Why? Due to many obstacles that develop in life. However, People simply make a bunch of lame excuses for these times of disappointment or frustration, and what they do. Continue. Oh, I'll get it right next time. On with what their next pursuit. Another problem is one who cannot pursue that which gives pleasure on a continuous basis. You just can't get high. You just can't. Back in my day, we called drug for recreational use. Monday to Friday, you go to work. I had brothers who were functioning junkies. They would go to work all week just to get high all weekend. I don't condone that, but okay, well, at least you're putting work in. Today, people, they ain't even working. They just want to get high. High costs money. You think the girls are free, but the crack costs money. Remember that? Okay. Nobody's going to give you something of pleasure for free. Except yourself. Self-pleasure is the way to go. I'm getting involved in that. Moving on, it's personal. This is not true happiness. Again, things, objects, situations is not happiness. True happiness, I'm about to wrap it up, is defined as an experience, watch this, of the state of enlightenment. When you become conscious of who you are, now you live in a state of what? Happiness, hotep, supreme peace within oneself, whereby one's experience of joy, one experiences bliss, joy, all the time. In what? All conditions and all circumstances. I told you, I've learned to what? Deal with every situation the same way. I'm staying cool, I'm staying calm, I'm in my good place, I'm in my happy place. So the situation can't touch that. Like hammer, can't touch this. When you get to that level, you can deal with any situation and still be cool. That's my point. Let me go home. I got you almost like one more half stuff to go. Well, got a little bit more. Hold on though. This is good stuff. You should be paying attention. This means that true happiness, pay attention here, is not a byproduct or dependent on what? Doing some activity or acquiring something or a situation, but rather it is a state of being. I say that with feeling because that's where you need to be. It is unaffected. The real me at peace is unaffected by situations or circumstances that I get involved with on a day-to-day basis in this world. How you do that? Focus, pay attention, and put yourself in a position to do what you need to do. Situations will come and go. Circumstances are there, but as long as you stay focused, that's how. It is a person's true essence to have knowledge of self. And when an enlightened person performs their actions daily, they are not doing so to become happy. No. What you doing it for? You ain't doing it for happy to become happy as the result, but you're doing it because it is the right thing on a righteous action that they are being guided to do by who? Their connection to God. I'm going to do what's right for somebody else. I'm going to do what somebody else needs. Why? And don't ask them for nothing. Why? That's what's right. Those are godly acts. I'm doing what's right now. Why? I'm guided to do this to help somebody else out. That's why. And thus, in effect, what you're doing, in effect, you are performing godly or divinely ordained work. My pastor believes he worked for God. I believe the same thing. And we take that concept serious. And thus, when you're doing ordained work, what you get for doing that? Blessings. Thus, karma, there we go again, right there. The results of what? The work you put in, you're going to get what you deserve. And you're putting in good work, you'll deserve it of what? Blessings. And it impels a person to what? Reincarnate. If you're not doing what's right to earn blessings, you'll be back. That's what they're telling you. Okay, you ain't vibrating on the right frequency. In order to attempt what? Their fulfillment of their desires that's left over from the previous life. Karma of the cycle that they caught up in birth, death, and rebirth. Continues what? On until what? That individual consciousness knows what? Gains self-knowledge, knows itself, become conscious, and self-knowledge of what? The illusionary of desires of the worldly attainments and the actions to get to them. If you want money, you might do things that's not respectful to get it. I sell drugs. Simple. Those are things that you got to do. You got to pay for them. Time and space. You're responsible for your actions. Been that way since the beginning. Thus, karma is not fate. No. But the tendency that a person sets up in their deep unconsciousness to like or dislike and desire or repudiate. That's all choices. That's what Maat gives you. Choices. You got to be the better choice maker. And when you follow the Maat laws, you can be a better choice maker. This duality, again, of choices keeps your mind flowing from what? Either bad situation, adversity, or to good situation, prosperity. Doing the right thing, you would get the latter, prosperity. Or from pleasurable to what? Painful. Joy and pain. You can't have one without the other. Maat tells you there's two. Your choice. You get to pick. Again, situation that you can make better for yourself. You make good decisions, situations are good. You make bad situations, you got to deal with them. And it's all the situation, you deal with the situations without achieving a resolution. Why? You just keep doing the same thing over and over. That's the Ouroboros, chasing your tail and getting nothing, or the hamster wheel. But you cannot get resolution, or you never find peace indefinitely with oneself. That was the people who always looking for something, waiting for something, hoping for something, praying for something. They ain't never where they need to be in the present. They missed the boat, so to speak. And the same philosophy of what we call the residue, the unconscious remains from the prior life. The mind, the body, the spirit has what we call residue. That's memory, okay, from prior life. Hence, deja vu. And the residue of what? Prior actions that still remains in the unconscious mind of the person. Your deep unconscious levels may be seen in the Commission teachings by WRIGHT. Many people think of philosophy of karma as a concept that originated in India. Au contraire, mon frère. Watch this. Now, the following text from my man, Menkara, shows that a concept that was well understood in Kemet, not Egypt, and in very much harmony with what? With what is today that we refer to as karma. In our ancient Egypt, the word for karma was ari, meaning action, your deeds. You be judged by your ari, karma, which attaches to each person, and it leads to their fate even beyond death. Why? This is the same understanding in the Hindu philosophy, the Commission teachings of Merkava, and the Pert M. Haru illuminates this concept teaching in detail. I just gave a lesson illuminating the mind with Maya. Instruction says this: the court that judges the wretch, that means all us humans, you know they are not lenient, don't care, ain't emotionally involved, detached, they ain't got no passion. One day of judging the miserable, that's us, again, in the hour of doing their task, it is painful when the accuser has knowledge of what their wrongdoings. You know what you did, okay? Watch. So do not trust in length of years. That ain't gonna work. They view a lifetime in human form as what? Mere hour in eternity. Eternity don't have time. Immortality don't go by time. That's the difference. And the view, okay. Now, when a man remains over after death, he's in that state. His ari, there you go, his deeds, his actions in his life will be stored right here in the heart. That's why they judge him by that. Purifying the heart is what? Living right, doing right, treating people right, keeping the light heart, not having hatred, jealousy, all the negative things, weigh the heart down. And at Judgment Day, karma brings you all your stuff, okay? This is your treasure chest, and that's what you're going to be judged by, your heart. And his IRE, his deeds, his actions are set beside him as a treasure. There you go. This is yours. No, this is yours. Accumulation of all. There you go. And stuff that we do, we might forget. That's why the heart keeps memory. Why? You're going to need those actions to stand for you. And it said, heart, don't fail me now. Speak for me in kindness. Not if you ain't good. I can't co-sign bad. That ain't going to happen. If you wrong, and you want an ally, I ain't your man. Why? I'm only gonna do what's right. And if you're wrong, I'm not gonna be with you. So you might not want me as an ally. If you're wrong, if you're right, well, yeah, you got an ally. Moving on. But that's the concept that the Egyptians had a long time ago. And because you're being yonder, that means here lasts forever. When you get to this stage, whatever happened here is eternal, forever. Unless the spirit gets sent back to be reincarnated. And that's going to be an everlasting cycle. Why? It ain't going to die. It's going to keep going back until they figure it out and come home. Moving on. A fool is one who does what they reprove. What's right for God, a fool would do just the opposite. If you want to practice Maat, that's order. You want to go against it, that's Isfet, that's chaos. The guy we got in the White House, that's what he practiced. You see what that's getting us. He who reaches, this is my part I like right here. He who reaches them without having done wrong. Ain't nobody perfect, but no, it's all about the heart, all about the intentions. They know your heart. If your intentions and your words are pure, the heart is light. If you're a liar, a deceiver, that weighs the heart down. And at Judgment Day, that's what gets you. Moving on. Concessions. Moving on. But he who will have done no wrong, you will exist there like the gods. And because you're yonder, you're free striding like the lords, and you're with them forever. That's the pin dropper. If your soul is enlightened, you're good to go. That was a philosophy that our ancients lived by, and they loved it. Why? It served them well. We, on the other hand, you got to believe in Christ and St. Peter let you in heaven. I'm not buying none of that nonsense. He died for 3. Man, none of that makes sense. If you tell me symbolically, okay, I can roll. But if you're telling me this all literally, don't waste my time. That's the lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. I will never waste your time. I'm going to give you the truth as I know it to be, and that's from my ancient ancestors' philosophies. Right thinkers, may you all live to be 100. Me, 100 miles a day. So I know that my right thinkers started learning Maat and more about themselves have passed away. If you know like I know about Maat, we don't die.